Good morning. Our egg layers are doing great. They're loving this chicken tractor being moved around daily onto fresh grass. Gotta move them this morning. We are waiting on the trusses. They were supposed to get dropped off yesterday, but they never showed up. Supposedly, the truck driver that was delivering the trusses got stuck on his first load unloading. So he dropped all the other trusses off with his trailer somewhere and then went back to the shop, I guess. I don't know. So the trusses are supposed to be here today now. I'm not gonna hold my breath because we keep being told, oh, they'll be here this week or oh, tomorrow. So unfortunately, the build is on hold till the trusses show up. I'm gonna say they'll be here, but I don't know what time today. I'm gonna move the egg layers, get them fed, and I think we got a few little things we can work on the off-grid workshop while we wait for the truck to show up. The sun is out. Now we just need the trusses to show up. Going up. And while we wait for the trusses, I want to make sure we got all of our layout marked. And we do on this side. I want to go over there to make sure we did. I don't remember if we got them all done. And it'll just make it easier when we're setting the trusses if the layout is all done and marked nicely. So that way we can just set the truss and see it and we don't have to kind of like search for it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we have layout marked out and then we just got the lines. So that way we know truss, no matter which way you're looking at it, you'll see your marks. And I don't know if we did this on every area on that side because this side is all done. I ended up going to Home Depot last night and I picked up hurricane brackets that we can put on all of the trusses. I like this style, especially for when you can get these on there nicely. So we got enough to do all of the trusses with these. Once we set the trusses, we'll get them all secured with the hurricane trusses, which will be good because if we get any wind in here before the garage doors get in, we won't have to worry about losing anything. We got the layout done all on this side, and then from here over, we got the layout, but we don't have it marked nicely. So I want to get those done. So when we're putting all the trusses up, it'll go a lot quicker. Right here, we got to start. So we already have that done. I want to do that all the way down. It is all the little things like that. If you can get those steps done beforehand, it makes the rest of the process go a lot quicker. So I'm just trying to make sure all those little small things are done. So when the trusses do get here, we can just go and just be ready and knock it out. And then we can get the roof covered with the purlins and then some tin on it. It's gonna take a couple of days, but it'll be nice to have this all dried in. And then we won't be getting any more water in here. And then we can figure out the rest of the layout for inside the shop and stop planning the solar and all that fun stuff because there's still a lot of work and parts and pieces we need to get done in here so that way we can get the shop up. I want to epoxy the floor, but in order to epoxy the floor, the concrete has to be dry for 28 days, which it is, but also the concrete can't be wet. So you gotta be able to put like a piece of plastic over the concrete for, I don't remember if it's like 12 or 24 hours and not see any moisture wick up in between the two. So I have a feeling it's gonna be a little while before that can happen. unfortunately. I want to thank Mary Ruth for sponsoring today's video. Mary Ruth was founded by Mary Ruth in 2014, and Mary Ruth is a unique company. It's a unique company on a mission to help people live healthier lives. Mary Ruth was founded in 2014 by Mary Ruth, a certified health educator, nutrition consultant, culinary chef, and mother of 4 children under 5, including twins. She was inspired to help people live healthier lives after her father and brother both passed away from heart conditions. You can get to know Mary Ruth via Instagram at Mary Ruth's Organics. Mary Ruth has over 130 products online. You can check them out at maryruthsorganics.com. The 2 Mary Ruths that I've been taking right now is the Nighttime Multi-Mineral, and then I've been taking the quercetin. The quercetin helps me support my immune system, and it also helps me lower my inflammation. And then the Nighttime Multi-Mineral has really been helping me sleep and remineralize my body while I am sleeping. We really never knew too much about minerals and what they do for our body and our health until we got goats. Believe it or not, it sounds kind of weird, but goats need to have a lot of minerals in their diet. And if goats don't have the right minerals in their diets, they're susceptible to more parasites. And then also their fur can change colors if they don't have copper. So that's when our eyes were really opened up about minerals and the minerals that we need and how they play effect in our body. So this multi-mineral helps me sleep better at night, but then while I'm sleeping, it helps me remineralize my body. And I don't think this is typical for everybody, because everybody's body is lacking different minerals, so everything's gonna react differently to your body, if that makes sense. So this is just my experience with the Nighttime Multi-Mineral. I've been taking this one for quite a few months now, and it is delicious. But what I've been finding, one second, it's as easy as that to take, and it tastes good. It actually tastes really good. But what I've been finding is I've been sleeping better. I've been sleeping throughout the night without waking up. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel more refreshed. This is the really odd ones. My back doesn't hurt when I wake up in the morning. And to me, that tells me that I need more magnesium, because magnesium helps with muscle stuff. So I'm going, okay, so I'm getting the minerals that I need from this one. I'm not saying if you take this, if you have back problems, it's gonna fix them, because everybody is different depending on what stuff you need. But I was really impressed with that. And then also, I have tinnitus. And it's been helping my tinnitus a ton. Those are the 2 things, other than my sleep, that I have really noticed that the Nighttime Multi-Mineral has helped. That's been my experience. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not saying it cures anything, but this is what it's been helping for me. If you're looking for any high-quality vitamins or supplements, check out maryruths.com and use my link in the video description down below, and use promo code LUMNAH to get you 25% off up until August 20th, and then after that, it'll be 20% off. Mary Ruth has over 130 different products, and if you like us, health and supporting your immunity is important to you, try Mary Ruth's Organics. We've really loved all the different ones that we have tried, and there's a ton more to try. They have them for all different life stages. So check them out. Use our link in the video description down below. Thanks, Mary Ruth, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to the build. Well, the trusses are finally here. The guy decided to back all the way up the driveway, I guess. That's like a half-mile ride, and it gets pretty curly and swervy, and I wouldn't want to be the one backing up that driveway, but I'm thinking he got stuck yesterday, that he was scared to drive up here forward and not be able to turn around. So that's my guess. This is the first time I've seen trusses get unloaded, so this is the first for me too. I'm excited to watch this. The driver was just showing us the picture of him getting stuck yesterday. It took him 6 hours to get pulled out. He was on a road and it sunk, and he was up to over his front bumper in mud. So this part of the country has been getting a lot of rain this year, and some areas are really bad. So I guess he found one of those spots yesterday, unfortunately. So I'm glad he made it here today. So I was thinking that that whole pile of scissor trusses is ours, but they're two different bundles. So I don't know if they are ours and they just broke them up to two different bundles or not. But I guess we'll find out, because we told him we wanted the gable end wall truss out. So we'll see which one he puts down first. Maybe both those bundles are for us. Well, that's one set of trusses down. The next set is ours also.
See me do the moonwalk? You want to see it?
I want to see it. Let's go.
16th's over. I think it'll be fine.
We'll be good. It's better than short.
Right.
Ken's getting a little nervous. He's got to drive up and through the mud to get back out.
He's sending me off-roading out into them. And I heard him say, what? Don't drive out there,
Don't
because you'll never come back.
That's right, but you back down here. Thank you. All right, Ken, we'll get this on video just in case you get stuck.
All right. I know where to do it.
I kept telling Ken, when the trucks come, make sure they don't get off the stone, because when that gets wet, it's pretty slimy. Four-wheel drive pickup truck is fine, but there's a good couple of inches of snot on top. But the big heavy trucks, they get in there, they would get stuck. So luckily Ken made it out. They'll be back in the morning, which will be in this video. It's about 2 o'clock now and Chad and Dan aren't here, so it's really no point trying to get these going. So we'll start first thing in the morning. We're gonna get all these trusses set. See you guys in a second. Good morning. Today is the big day. The trusses go up. Ken should be here in a little bit, like an hour or so. We need to finish milking Azalea, get the rest of the chores done, and then we're gonna start setting the first truss. And that is exciting. It's gonna be wild to see how big the building looks with the first truss up, because it's big now, but once you get those trusses erected, it's gonna change it completely. And then I'm looking forward to seeing the metal roof go on. The next few days are gonna be some big ones. Who are you staring at? All right, so before we get any of the trusses out, we want to go ahead and mark them while they're all down here and stacked up nice and neat. For the purlins, we made sure we put notes so we wouldn't forget this morning, because if we do that first, that'll save us quite a bit of time versus having to do that when they're all up in the air. So we'll get these laid out and then we can start getting the first one lifted up and see how it goes. Ready to start cutting? Yeah, there's quite a few bands, isn't there? All right, well, they get the layout on the trusses for the purlins, and we learned that the 2x6s going on the trusses are called purlins. The ones on the walls are called girts. So thank you for that. We learned something new. I'm gonna get the TYM 574 all fired up, and I'm gonna get the tractor in position, because the plan is to use the 574 to pick the trusses up and lift them up the front of the building and hand them off to Ken in the lift. So that way it should go a lot smoother. So we're gonna give it a whirl. The gable end wall trusses weigh 206 pounds, and then the scissor trusses weigh 153 pounds. So they don't weigh a lot per se. They're just long and awkward. So if we can get these lifted up to Ken, it'll save a lot of time.
That's 5.
I think those are pretty good within reason.
So when we get
Well, if you've been watching the channel for very long, you know that I don't like anything high up. A little bit afraid of heights. I don't like watching people up high, but I'm coming to watch them put the trusses up. Crazy, right?
Let's see how this first one goes. That's about as high as it's gonna go. The clearance to get by the building. Took a minute, but I don't want to be the first one to hit the building already. goes. All right, let's see how that works out for Ken. That's the highest I can get it, and it wants to slide down. So I think we're gonna see how it works. So that is full height. I could come forward more, but I can't go any higher. It always takes the most time figuring out the first couple. You wanna grab that side just in case? Oh, nope, we're good. First one's up. All right, while they get the first truss set, I'm gonna see if I can make a bracket to put on the front of the tractor to hold the trusses straighter and outright without them tipping over with having to move the forks around. So let me see if I can get that worked out, and then I'll be right back. All right, so the plan is with this is to be able to get in, get the truss to rest here, and then this will hold it from sliding back and wanting to tip. All right, let's give this little jig a try. Is that better for you?
I think it is.
Perfect.
Is that caught on your fork?
Nope, you're good now.
Well, I think I should have put on some more deodorant because this stuff makes me sweaty. I don't know about you, but I am sweating.
Yeah, I see. Gotcha.
I don't think that Ken needs to go to the fair this year because he's getting all his fair rides in. Well, unless of course he likes the fair food.
All right, just set the 6th truss. Now we're gonna have to reposition the lift because the lift is as far this way as it can come, and it's basically hitting that last truss. So I think we'll probably put some purlins up, then we'll have to move the lift and then get everything refigured out to bring the trusses over, because that was working out slick with the TYM. All right, I want to get some purlins up, so I'm gonna cut some on layout. I'm gonna do a 12, an 8, and a 6. We got the first purlin set on each side. Now we got to reposition the lift so we can finish setting more trusses. All right, putting on our hurricane brackets. So you're probably not going to want to hear this, Ken, but they are calling for a thunderstorm tonight.
Oh, actually, I did want to hear that.
So we'll have to make sure we brace everything up nicely.
The roof will leak.
It will leak. We just want to make sure it's still there in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
So the trusses are starting to lean forwards right now, so we got to get a bracing on them, get everything plumbed back up, get them braced, and then we'll continue on putting the rest of the trusses in. We don't want to keep going forward with that lean the way it is. We gotta get it all braced off. So Ken's gonna go up there. Ken's gonna go up there, get everything leveled off, and then we'll brace them up, and then we can continue on. It's going good though. You want to go a little past? You think it'll sag back? $21.3 to the peak. I wonder what we got to the inside peak.
Can you read that?
Not good enough. Maybe my... Ken just backed the lift off. He said it barely moved at all, so they're nice and plumb. And he said that stiffened it up quite a bit. So that's what we want to hear. So that way, if we get a good windstorm, everything is braced off good. There's still a bunch of bracing we need to do once it's all done to tie all of the trusses together. So it's more structural. You have paperwork that comes with the trusses showing you where you need to and how you should brace everything off. So, but this is the first step, getting that done, then we can get the rest of the trusses up. So far I've been able to keep the build process going with the Lion Energy Safari ME to keep everything charged up, which is nice. I was kind of surprised. The battery in that ended up dying after a couple of hours. We had to plug it in, and the Safari's been able to charge it back up and keep it going. So the battery pack that they come with, they don't last very long. That's good to know. We will keep that always plugged in now. So we had to stop setting trusses because we have a storm blowing in tonight. We wanted to make sure that all these were braced off nicely. We have one way up in the center going from the gable end at an angle all the way down here. And then we have some on the sides. And then on the back corner, the truss company recommends putting in diagonals going from the gable end all the way back in. And then basically that one is pushing on this truss, which is pushing right onto the sidewall. And we did that on both sides. So that is good. Everything is nice and sturdy. They're braced on the top. Then tomorrow we can finish setting the last, probably, I don't know, we're over halfway done. We're probably like almost 2/3 of the way done. So we got a little over 1/3 left to do. We'll set those probably before lunch tomorrow, hopefully. Get those on and get the gable end on, get everything braced on the inside, and then we can get all of our purlins up. And then once our purlins are up, it'll be the metal. So it is a good day. It just stinks that we're having a storm come in because we had to stop and get those all braced up nicely. Everything is nice and dry. Outside dried up pretty good today. But once we get this, we're supposed to be getting like almost 3/4 of an inch of rain tonight and early tomorrow morning. So once we get that, it's gonna get muddy again, unfortunately. It seems like we just keep fighting the weather. We had some really nice weather while we were waiting for the trusses. And when you're waiting for stuff, there's nothing else you can do. So I am excited with how far we've gotten. Everything is looking good. Working with the scissor trusses, you gotta brace them up a little bit more because you don't have anything going all the way across the shop on the flat. So it takes a little bit more time, energy, and effort to get these done right. Gina had to run out, bring Pluto to the vet. She's doing good. She just needed to get her yearly checkup. So that's where Gina and Pluto are right now. I can't wait to show it to her and see what she thinks. Well, we're getting that thunderstorm and the wind is just picked up.